Hello YouTube and welcome back to HPZR Plays the Grand Inquisitor. Basically, full disclosure, I was actually away for a little while for one weekend, somewhere dark place basically, and while I was there I actually finished the game, which means that I now know exactly what to do and probably do a bit more entertaining video. The other thing that is I've been having a lot of audio problems on this, and this is probably like my fourth attempt to get the audio a bit better. And I hope that this helps. There's a chance it might not at all help, but still. Nonetheless, I now know exactly what I did wrong last time, because I finished the game. As you can see, those are just normal puzzles. You don't need magic to solve them. Now this one is a bit more difficult. You look at the shadows and you have to calculate with the shadows which one you're going to use. So it's not that one. One shadow. So this one has this weird shadow with a flag on it. We don't have anything with a flag. Let's try this strange round one. As you can see, the shadows don't match up, so it's not that one. So that one of the ball doesn't work because that shadow is in the wrong place. Let's try this one. This might actually have two shadows. No. It's not that one. It's not that one either. Let's try this one. There we go. So basically just have a look at the shadows, and what's interesting is the way that the pathway clears is different each time. This one was the bridges one. It wasn't too difficult if I remember correctly. You basically have to open a window. And the interesting thing is it's still an infinite abyss down there. But I can always use the window. Zork logic.
GUE Tech, Eastlands. Boy, this takes me back. The glory days of enchanting. I can't remember a damn thing.
Yeah, normal university. You've got some nice things here. If I recall, you don't use those at all. You can just have a look at all of the awards and stuff. And first things first, let's probably go and have a look at all of these lovely vending machines. Let's see if I've got
Snacks,
the items
sweet
yet.
snacks. What a welcome sight to the road-weary adventurer.
Okay, I still need the item. So there's tons of snacks and things here, but we don't have any money. There's this interesting vending machine here with a missing button. Let's go have a walk around and see what's around here. What is that place? Oh, it's an infinite corridor. Of course. No one in?
This is an emergency magicatronic message from the Enchanter's broadcasting system. I am the wizard, Dalboz. This is probably not a test. Should a tyrannical anti-magic despot have in fact eliminated magic from the Empire, you must find the following 3 lost magic artifacts. If you find them, magic will return.
This is the main hallway one took to go to class. I've never been down it.
So basically, yeah, you need to do that, and infinite corridor. I wonder, that's in purple. As you could see, that really is infinite.
Graham.
What happens if I use Negram on infinite?
And the hallway becomes a small
Ooh.
way.
I can now walk around. There's some lockers here. That one has a strange opening there.
You must find the missing cube of foundation, one of the 17 building blocks which form our existence. The cube that contains the power of middle magic was allegedly won in a game of double Fanucci by the scoundrel Antharia Jack, proprietor of a gambling hall in Port Fusel. As the sources were intoxicated in the extreme, this information has never been verified.
Okay, so we need to get that random cube.
You must find the skull of Yorick, which contains the soul of deep magic. The powerful skull has fueled wars, raised empires, toppled cities, and through it all remained quite shiny. The skull was stolen by a pack of grooves near the historic White House in the year 948.
Okay, so we need to get that skull. And I think there was one more thing. That's the skull. It's this way.
You must find the Coconut of Quendor. It contains the magic knowledge of the Circle of Enchanters, knowledge enough to fill an entire coconut, hidden before magic was banished from the realm. It holds the power of high magic and makes, I'm told, one heck of a pina colada. The wizard Yigale set sail into the great sea with it in 966 GUE. It was never heard from again. Search out the time tunnels. This is the sole purpose for which we built them eons ago. This has been an emergency magicatronic message from the Enchanter's broadcasting system. This has not been a test. If this had been a test, an annoying tone would have sounded. The tone would have sounded very much like this.
Okay, so we've been assured that that's not a test. And we need to find those random objects to complete the game. Let's have a look, see if there's anything of interest on here. Dutech, Dean's List. Dutech memo. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Warning, the surgeon specific of Geotech has determined that eating Zork rocks while drinking any cola-based beverage can be harmful to your health because your stomach will explode. Just like that kid on the whose pictures on all of the Zork milk cartons. So that sounds interesting. Now we can go back the way we came, but I want to go this way. Because Zork logic. So now we're here. This place
As
looks
you'll notice, the
completely
university
different.
doesn't exist in our space-time. It's in a parallel dimension called the ethereal planes of Atri, which we sorcerers share with snack cakes, former child stars, and people who own ferrets. Hey, free dirt!
So let's go digging a little bit here. And we find a spell. Simplify instructions. That's useful. And that's extremely useful in this game, because
Let's
considering everything's over,
dematerialize, shall we?
seeing that everything is overly complex, that's very useful in Zork. And as you can see, you can teleport as well, just to make things a little bit easier. Feel the heat, take the underground to Hades. Might just do that. So we've got this map here. Last time you noticed that it doesn't work and it's overly complicated. So let's simplify this. Much
That's more
better.
like it. Now, unless I'm mistaken, all you have to do is pick the place you want to go to, wait at the edge of the platform, and assume crash position.
So I guess I'll go to Hades, because what can be, nothing can be as good as hell.
The thing about the underground is that there were a few cutbacks and then a few more. And then, well, they just never got around to installing the brakes. Whew! That really clears the sinuses.
Welcome to hell.
Hey, Slim, what you reading? How to hypnotize yourself. Guess it worked.
Really? Yep. He's been here for some time. And here we've got the voyage of Captain Ziab. Might be important for later. So at this stage, I'm just going to save here. And let's have a look at this scratch card.
Watch out. Old Scratch plays for high stakes. 500 Zork mids against eternal damnation. What I'm trying to say is maybe you ought to save.
Okay, so I've already saved. Let's see. So basically, if you remember the old game Pipe, it's the same sort of effect. You need to puzzle out a way to get to the treasure. Knowing that we're up against Hades, I know that it's not going to be... Oh... Darn. I lost. So, yeah. Luckily, we were told to save.
Watch out. Old Scratch plays for high stakes. 500 Zork mids against eternal damnation. What I'm trying to say is maybe you ought to save.
And I lost again. There's only one
Watch
correct
out.
path from
Old
here.
Scratch plays for high stakes. 500 Zork mids against eternal damnation. What I'm trying to say is maybe you ought to save.
Unfortunately, that's the thing with Zork. You have to... Some of the puzzles, they're not so much puzzles as brute forcing
Watch out.
your way through.
Old Scratch plays for high stakes. 500 Zork mids against eternal damnation. What I'm trying to say is maybe you ought to save.
So I can go that way. Looks better.
Cha-ching! 500 Zorkmids.
Awesome. Now I wonder what we'll do with that amount of cash in Zork.
Can you hear it? Thousands of voices lamenting some hideous fate. Or maybe it's just me.
Now, I don't quite want to do this, but we can play with the telephone so
The
long.
direct line to the commissioner.
Not really.
Thank you for calling the Hades Shuttle Service courtesy phone. Since the dawn of time, your choice for crossing over into the afterlife. To skip a message at any time, press 4. This service has recently undergone a retrofitting to ensure full ease of abuse, customer dissatisfaction, and user unfriendliness while inefficiently bringing you, the recently deceased, to your final destination. Before crossing, you'll need to answer a few simple questions using the touch-tone pad. Press 1 for the list of questions. To press 3, please press 7. To hear these options again, call back and listen to them again. To press 4, hit the pound key. To return to the main menu, you're already there. Press 8 to press 1. To wait on hold, are you currently living? We're sorry, but use of the Hades shuttle service by pre-mortem individuals is strictly prohibited. Please call back when you are extremely dead.
Oh. Basically, it's if anyone ever phoned Telcom, that's what you'd get.
Let's dematerialize, shall we?
Okay, so let's go back to the university. Right, so I finally have some cash. And of course, none of these machines take notes. Or luckily there's a change machine, so let's stick in some change. Ooh, coins.
500 Zorkmids. Let's just stuff those in a handy little sack, shall we?
So seeing as we can try something interesting.
I think some of these were here my freshman year.
I'm just going to... we'll save a bit later. Oh, I also want some Zork pop rocks.
No!
Ah,
I hate it when that happens.
There's no option to kick the machine. Oh, I wanted some Zork pop rocks. Fear not.
Just where were you keeping that?
I had it strapped to my back.
Perma from Froboz's Electric. We don't make things that suck. We make things that suck permanently.
Ooh, pop rocks. Let's get some ice cream while I'm here. take some of that. That one. Oh, nothing. What a terrible machine. If it doesn't have
Look,
stock, you don't
an
get
ice
it.
cream bar. Hey, look, there's a special treat inside. Well, what do you know? Another scroll.
What do you mean? It's an awesome treat.
The Obadil Scroll. Will not nusto for novelty purposes only. They're just saying that, though. Put it through a spell checker and it'll work like any other.
Awesome. So let's have a look, see. Remember that nice big warning about the Coca-Cola? Pop rocks and Coke. I'm just gonna save in case we blow ourselves up. So I've got my popping candy. I don't have a glass, so we can just stick it in there. Stick a coin in here. I'm gonna nuke it with some blam classic.
Warning,
Ooh.
warning. Presence of cola beverage detected.
Let's find a safe home for this stuff, okay? These rocks are about to pop in a very big way, and I don't want to be next to them when they do.
Okay, so we've got our popping candy. Let's get out of here.
Warning. Presence of cola beverage detected. This candy will self-destruct in 45 seconds.
Oh no, we can't get out. 45 seconds. Let's stick it back in there.
Caution. Stuck.
Zork rocks have been corrupted. This candy will self-destruct.
It's stuck. It's stuck.
Oh no, let's hide. Clearly, that popping candy is gonna explode.
Meltdown is imminent. This candy will self-destruct in 15 seconds.
Hit the floor. Ditch the candy. Clear the area. These suckers are gonna blow any second now.
10,
Oh no.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my. They weren't joking. You get nuked from popping candy. Wait, we've activated Zork rocks? The Zork rocks explode, as do you and everything else that isn't made of tempered Borfian steel. It's pretty painless, but you can't help thinking about the mess. You have died. Darn. And I got 253 points out of a possible 1,000. Oh. Okay, so can we use this for something? So let's stick that in there.
Warning, warning. Presence of cola beverage detected.
Ooh.
Let's find a safe home for this stuff, okay? These rocks are about to pop in a very big way, and I don't want to be next to them when they do.
I remember the lockers here. Oh, that locker is open. Why did this locker open? Anyhow.
Warning, warning. Presence of cola beverage detected.
There you go.
This
Crisis
candy will
averted.
self-destruct in 45 seconds. Caution, Zork rocks have been corrupted. This candy will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
Still can't get out.
It's
Danger,
stuck.
danger. Meltdown is imminent. This candy will self-destruct in 15 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oof. Okay. That seemed to have worked.
Look! This is my locker! That's my stuff! My books and my papers and my... Oh, I guess I should have washed those gym shorts.
That could be useful. Now, the other thing I noticed is, for some reason, that opened. If I have a look here, there's 4 lockers, 3 rows. And there's only one thing that we actually changed that has 3 rows and 4 lockers. 3 rows and 4 on each row. With one that doesn't work. So let's see. Oh, Pop Rocks got stuck again.
Looks like those Zork rocks fried the machine. This thing really does suck. Leave it here.
Doesn't say much for my vacuum cleaners I'm trying to sell. How to win double Funaki. It looks complicated. Oh. So that was pretty interesting. And this one I want to see what's in this locker here. Because someone really didn't like the guy. Kind of feel sorry for him. Need some more coins. Which one was it? I think it was number 10. Oh, no. That's a bank. Grab another coin. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the lockers opening. So let's see.
That's Yannick's locker. That rat ant was my roommate here for 3 terms, before he became the pastor of disaster up in the above ground. He would have failed out first term if it weren't for me.
That's interesting. I've got a pull there. Better spell manufacturing in under 10 minutes. That seems a bit complicated. There we go, that's better. So what I normally do at this situation, seeing as we're in the 21st century, so I go grab my cell phone, be right back. And I'm just going to take a snapshot of this. Because I know that'll come in handy. There's some manuscripts, cave notes.
Look at this! Cheat notes! Crib sheets! He may run the Empire, but he's not quite Mensa material.
I can't simplify those. I think that's about it. That's all that's interesting there. Let's go explore.
My lantern sense is tingling, warning me of danger. Oh, and your sword's glowing too.
Nice Lord of the Rings reference. What do we have here? Protected by Frubar's Magic Company Purple Beast Alarm System. Now I know there's a spell to turn purple things invisible, and I just see swords. Let's save here.
Ah, get away from me, bridge, you cretin! Ah!
You gained 86 experience points and found a healing potion. Oops, wrong kind of dungeon master.
That's all good and great, but now I can't get over the bridge. I'm sure there must be a way to get past that. I'll just walk there. Doesn't take too long. Let's go to the flood control, why not?
Totemization? Good. Now, if you just be a lamb and sign his confession, it's a formality, really. You willingly agree to be eternally bound and totemized and so forth, blah, blah, blah. You violated the laws and or pointed suggestions of the Inquisition, etc., etc., etc.
No problem. Of course. Oh, look, wait, there's a mistake here on line 17C.
Be a lamb, just sign the line.
No, really, look, here, where it's supposed to say stand in line for 3 hours and then get totemized, it says pop the inspector one. Sorry. Oh.
I'll sign for you. Pink copy's yours. Have a nice day.
Okay.
I'm remembering why I've always preferred teleporting. This is the stop for the famed flood control dam number 3. I believe it was quite the tourist attraction in times far distant.
So we've got something here where I can insert a little coin. And I can get a butter knife from it. Ah, souvenirs. And you get a letter opener.
There it is. One of the crowning achievements on Lord Dimwit's platform.
Ah! I create a bridge over a body of water. That's useful. That's very useful. This is basically instructions on how to use the flood control thing. And this is where all of the electricity is generated. As you can see just now, you can press things the whole time and absolutely nothing will happen.
Now you're thinking outside the box. Snaps all around.
So let's see what happens if I mess it up. Oops.
Well, whatever. I guess a much-loved and irreplaceable 300-year-old national treasure is a small price to pay. Congratulations.
57. 57. Go on then. In you go, 57.
Wait, that's it? Indigo 57? I mean, don't you read something or say something?
Yes. I say, in you go, 57, and you go in.
Oh, well, it's gonna at least have a hug.
People! People! Out us again! Oh, that's it. I can't work in these conditions.
So, am I getting totemized or what?
Okay. So I guess he's not getting totemized. It's the least I could do for helping me back there. But I can now make bridges over water.
That was fun. Useless, but fun.
For no apparent reason. It might come in handy somewhere. Let's see, I need to go back to the crossroads. Oh yeah. Let's go. I don't know. Ugh, let's go up. Why not? You haven't seen that animation yet. So I can hear water in the background, so there must be a way. In all honesty, that's supposed to work. There we go.
I like your style. Splendid job.
As you can see, there is some water there. And we've got this weird machine of all of these names that we saw before. Ah, this is the mythical spell checker.
You used to have to wait in line for hours to use this thing. I guess we can cut to the front of the line now.
So remember that photo we took a couple minutes ago? Which is absolutely perfect, because all we need to do now is just follow the exact procedure. So we're looking for origination. Modification. Replication. I think that's a bit further down. No, it's further up. Replication. Interpretation. and transmogrification, whatever that is. I think it's this one, yeah, that's the one.
Spell named Bebert is not yet imbued. Imbuing spell. Imbuing is complete.
The Bebert spell gives the appearance of inclement weather. I use it for family reunions.
That could be useful. But I've also got this thing here, which...
Spell named Odabil is soggy. Drying spell. Drying is complete.
The Obadil spell looks good as new.
So I can make myself more attractive to other creatures. That could be useful. But I'll probably do that a bit later, because I can do quite a bit of other things now at the moment. So I've got the sleeping tablet thing here, and seeing as we can make the weather, just remember that scroll thing there, we can make it sound like the weather is quite nice. So let's see if that gets the plants a little bit excited. There we go.
Look, it's fall.
What is this?
The Zimdor spell triplicates quantities of intoxicating libations. The Froboz's Magic Alcoholic Beverage Company had it regulated, so it can't be nustoed into your spellbook.
Ah. So I can only use that once. That sounds useful. So let's go this way. Huh? In here. Hi, Snapping Dragon. I think you need a chill pull.
There. This just doesn't seem fair. Effective maybe, but terribly unfair.
That quantity is definitely not enough. So let's...
Now you're talking. 36 gloops of mead light would be sot, the heartiest of the hearty.
Want some rye? Course you do.
Now, if you have a look here, at the back of the house is this toadstool thing. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this grow a little bit. And let's see what happens if I hit it with a hammer. Doing. So, let's have some fun with the snapping dragon. Clearly that's the best way to get something utilizing a snapping dragon.
Perfecto. Now that's why people say plants are a man's best friend, or whatever they say. I don't know any people. What do you think, huh? This place has some nice appointments. I've always thought it could use a conversation pit, though. The walking castle. He sure has grown. I'm glad I started keeping him outside.
It's pretty big. So let's have a look, see at the books. That's exactly what I did.
It slices, it dices. Yes, folks, it's a...
Sorry guys, I skipped the audio there. Basically it's a multi-home appliance of some sort. Clearly we need to open that lock.
Red Rod.
I can grab some of that. Fruit bars, magical organic processing recipes, cocos. Sounds nice. So there's a lot of items in here. A lot of reading material that you can read through. I see there's a telephone.
My voicemail! A message! Yes! Somebody remembered me! Oh, 100 years ago.
Hello, this is Shona from Girth Publishing, and we're finishing up the latest edition of Gluttonous Recipes of the Fat and Unemployed, and we seem to have some discrepancy over the specifications for your cocoa blend. First off, flathead fudge is illegal contraband, not to mention a tad hard to come by, and we can't find anyone with the guts to go near a quilty's nest. A bar of glazed hungus lard is just disgusting, and none of us can figure out what hot bugs are. And then there's this last thing, moss of Marilyn. You don't really expect someone to go scraping for moss, do you? Look, we appreciate your submission, but if we can't reproduce your recipe, we can't expect anyone else to.
She has no idea what she's missing. Actually, neither do I. What's she talking about?
Hi, my name is Doug, and I'm calling with a fantastic offer from the Dalboz Electric Publishing Company. If you subscribe to both Obedience Monthly and Informer Reports today, you can qualify for...
Isn't that the fellow who used to do those Encyclopedia of Frobozga commercials?
Right. Hello. Yes. This is Snapple of the Guild of Bikers. That's Snapple, yes, 2 F's. I've relocated and I live in the throat, actually, of the great watch dragon of the coconut. One word, watch dragon. And there isn't normally a phone in my flat, except that my flatmate appears to have swallowed some sort of ship. Well, there's no accounting for, digestive processes. But it appears to have once been a ship. And that's what we get out here, mostly ships and the like. But that's neither here nor there.
These are all 100 years old. Any poor fellow living in a dragon has probably been digested by now.
Right. Sorry, it's me again. Snapple. Well, we've discussed all that, right? Now, anyways, I'm a baker by trade. It should be fairly clear by my name, Snaffle of the Guild of, Right. Anyways, since the end of all this magic business, I've had to tell you that I'm staying in business. I brought this up at the Guild to equal to a vote and all that, but nobody could help me, really. When a simple cloth spill would fold the dough 83 times, I could make a profit. But now cloth hardly works. And when it does, well, it usually folds the dough too often. The butter melts, it doesn't come out the right size, or this...
Hold on for an important message. Has a phone call ever changed your life? This one quite possibly can. Dalboz Data Institute would like to offer you Dalboz of Earth, a free trial subscription to the Inquisition Cranial Enema Program.
100 years of phone solicitor messages. There really should be a law.
Okay, so basically here's this recipe for really good cocoa, and I think we should actually just make that just now, but we still need a few things, so I'll skip that for now.
My room. Oh, the nights I spent in this room. Warm, cozy, secure, alone, bored, miserable, waiting for hour after sluggish hour to tick by. I guess I don't miss this place all that much.
By the way, I'm going through some of the books, so you can pause and read the books if you want to.
Oh, how'd that get there? It's a time tunnel. Ah, my secret mirror room, where I brought lusty nymphs for trysts. I mean, where I would have brought them if I had known any.
So basically, you'll see that the controls are weird in here and everything's backwards. I don't remember there's something you have to do in there. In here.
That window leads out to my bed of trampoline plants. It's sort of an organic fire escape.
Unless it's an interesting room to be in. There we go, things are back to normal.
He knows you're here. I think he just doesn't like you.
Overdale.
Now it does.
Wow, I've never gone inside him before. This is pretty gross.
Activate time tunnels, that's quite nice. We still need something though. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the game is slightly different every single time you play it. But I guess this is probably a good time for me to save and see you guys next time. Because we're about, I'll say, a third of the way finished with the game. There's really not much more to do. So anyway, if you like my videos, please comment, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. It's me, AFGNCAAP, signing off.